What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to a brand new episode of Maximus the Fourth. Boy, do I have a special video for you guys today. What I have here to your guys' left is an original cherry cola slice from 1986. And then to your guys' right, in my left hand, this is modern day Pepsi Wild Cherry from 2023. Today, I'm going to be doing a taste test of Cherry Cola Slice, standing next to Pepsi Wild Cherry, and I'm going to let you guys know if there is a difference between the two. Before we get into this video, I'm going to give you guys a history lesson on Cherry Cola Slice, and the title of today's video is going to be, does Cherry Cola Slice taste different than Pepsi Wild Cherry? Let's get into the history. Here we go. Dating all the way back in 1982, there was an annual fairgrounds event that was located in Nashville, Tennessee. Coca-Cola happened to be there, and what they were doing is putting together a taste testing lab because they wanted to come out with one new ultimate flavor in order to compete with Dr. Pepper. By the time the taste testing campaign was all said and done, the new flavor that Coca-Cola came out with was Cherry Coke. 3 years later, once the headquarters of PepsiCo in Canada only received the news, what they did is they formed together this elite work crew in which they called them by the code name of Rambo. In just 5 weeks, they put them to work really hard. And after just 5 weeks, they indeed came out with a brand new product called Cherry Pepsi. This crew, Rambo, moved so fast that even though Coca-Cola was mountains ahead of them on time, just hours before Coca-Cola was able to release and put down their Cherry Coke on the store shelves, PepsiCo beat them. And this was very impressive back then, because in 1985, that was when PepsiCo and Coca-Cola were at the absolute height of their rivalry. 1 year later, in 1986, you might have thought that the States, the US, was sleeping on having any sort of an idea to come out with the Cherry Pepsi flavor of their own, but instead they took a completely different route. What the US did is they came out with a brand new line of drinks called Slice to try to expand on their brand. There were 3 new flavors that they came out with in the Slice line: Mandarin Orange, Apple, and Cherry Cola Slice. Just 2 years after the release of Cherry Cola Slice, it was discontinued forever. And then it was replaced with Wild Cherry Pepsi, and it has not been on the store shelves ever since. This is 37 years old. Now, consider the following. A Cherry Cola Slice is one of the absolute most short-lived beverages in the entire history of PepsiCo, if not the absolute shortest one. And because Cherry Cola Slice was never renamed or rebranded, this was all it was. A bottle of Cherry Cola Slice now to this day could be known by many as the absolute holy grail of all US Pepsi collectibles are concerned. And what I can tell you is that one bottle of Cherry Cola Slice, if it is full sealed and unopened, just like this one is worth a whopping $700. And all I plan on doing today is traveling back 37 years in the past, 6 years before I was even born, and I'm going to do a taste test of Cherry Cola Slice standing next to Pepsi Wild Cherry. And I am indeed going to tell you guys if it does taste different than Pepsi Wild Cherry. Before I open up this Cherry Cola Slice, I have a huge call out to make. If there are any big time YouTube names out there, especially the LA Beast, Furious Pete, even Mr. Beast himself, and perhaps Furious Pete. If you guys are watching this video, please share this video on your personal profiles of your YouTube accounts, and let's get this freaking video up to 1 million views. And also, if there are any fans of those big names that I mentioned, please share this video link on their comments down below, and let's spam the living crap out of them. And if anybody from PepsiCo is watching, share this video for me as well. Alright guys, that's it. Without further ado, let's open up this $700 bottle of Cherry Cola Slice from 1986. Go ahead and take a nice look at that just before I open it up. You guys might notice something very special about this bottle is that, well, all of them for that matter, nowhere does it say Pepsi on the bottle. But right here, it does say, from the makers of PepsiCo, Pepsi Cola. Alright guys, it is the moment of truth. Does Cherry Cola Slice taste different than Pepsi Wild Cherry? Let's go, baby! Come on! Whew! Adrenaline. Okay, so that's got a very aged smell to it. Let's taste this thing. That still has got a very good taste, believe it or not. I'm not kidding you. It has an incredibly settled cherry flavor. For those of you that don't know, the Slice line of drinks was known to have 10% fruit juice in the drinks. Oh, man, that tastes good. For a 37-year-old bottle, that is absolutely amazing. Now, let's try some of this modern day 2023 Pepsi Wild Cherry. Again, the Cherry Cola Slice. So the Cherry Cola Slice, it has a very fruity taste to it. And considering the age of this bottle, it doesn't taste that bad. The color, it's just a very dark, almost jet black, but not quite jet black. It's just ever so slightly see-through if you look at it closely. Alright guys, let's down the rest of this Cherry Cola Slice. Holy mackerel, that was refreshing. Oh my gosh. That was so good. I can't even believe how good that tastes for it being so old. Let's take just one more sip of Pepsi Wild Cherry. Final thoughts. So considering that I took a sip of the Cherry Cola Slice first, And because it is so aged, I feel like that it is very likely that the cherry cola slice might off-put the Pepsi Wild Cherry. But on that last sip of Pepsi Wild Cherry, I tasted it perfectly, and it's very good. Now, the question is does cherry cola slice taste better or taste different than Pepsi Wild Cherry? Yes, it really does. Now, if this was a fresh bottle, would it taste better? I don't know. But what I can tell you is that my theory is that it would, because this tastes awfully good for something that was 37 years old. So my theory is yes, it does and it would taste better if this was a complete fresh bottle. But all in all, because this Pepsi Wild Cherry is fresh and this cherry cola slice is not, of course, the Pepsi Wild Cherry, it did taste better. But my goodness, original cherry cola slice from 1986 is absolutely no joke. So at the end of the day, does cherry cola slice taste different than Pepsi Wild Cherry? Yes, it does. And it is quite absolutely amazing. I thank you all for watching. Maximus the Fourth here. I am signing out, and I will see you guys next time.